Yeah, welcome. Yeah, interesting. Excellent. So there are people who are asking to be admitted. Hi, good evening, and we will be starting in a few seconds. Please hang in there. Just waiting for a few more people. Don't want them to miss out. Naimish. Naimish is correct, no?
Naimish.
Naimish. Okay. Great, excellent. Okay, so Kajal, what we'll do is we'll stop this ting, 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 ting sound if that's possible.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Great, and welcome to the show. Very warm welcome, and I have a little show, a little video to show you. Just give me a second. Let me put it on here. Sorry. Watch our show, Dilse Expertise. Plan a good holiday. Founders of LTM, Let's Talk Money. Specific life goals. And we have guests on our show who are experts in the field. There's a lot more. Yay! And welcome to our show, Dilse Expertise. If we have not already met, my name is Bhuvna. I'm a certified financial planner, wealth manager, teacher, blogger, mom, and founder, CEO of Plan to Prosper. At Plan to Prosper, we help salaried working professionals build a lot of wealth and become financially free so that they can spend their time on what matters most to them. So we've been doing these shows in the last 2 months now, 3 months almost, and we've had guests over from different fields. We've had Neeraj, Amit, people talking about loans, people talking about derivatives, about investments, about keeping your emotional strength. And today we have Naimish, Sanghvi. I'm going to give you a little introduction about Naimish. I will stop sharing this. Okay, now I'm almost feeling like I'm in another universe, because for the first time, we have somebody I've not really worked with very closely, but I'm really in awe about. Okay, so Naimish is a biotechnologist whose heart was in IT. He worked in IT consulting and in media with Infosys, Deloitte, and Network 18, and finally found his calling in blockchain. And for somebody who's on this show, he looked like really young. Naimish, I have to tell you this. There is a joke amongst financial planners that goes like this: we don't like cryptocurrencies because we don't get it, and we didn't get any. Okay, so it looks like we missed the bus, or we don't know. We just had a narrow escape. So it's one big black hole for us, and I'm a total noob on this new technology, and I'm very excited to learn, like a first year student trying to learn something very new. So Naimish today decided that we won't have the normal format of asking questions, because he's not confident about the quality of questions that I can like to ask. Okay, so Naimish is going to do a little presentation for us the next 10-15 minutes, and please take notes and ask intelligent questions. If you already are crypto fan, then please keep quiet, because this is going to be very interesting for us. We're going to ask like really ridiculous questions. And I'm going to hand it over to Naimish now to take this over, run a little presentation for us, and tell us more about cryptocurrencies. Is it the future, or is it fraud?
Okay. Thank you so much for that introduction, Bhuwana. First of all, cryptocurrency, for me, it's a future because I'm sitting here. Yeah. So I don't think that it's fraud at all. Okay. The second thing is, I might look young, but I guess I'm not a financial planner, so I have a little less tension than everybody else. Yeah. So I've managed to survive, I guess. Okay. All right. So as you said that I I will only take 10 minutes max for the presentation. Just want you guys all to be on the same page before Bhuvna starts asking me questions, or anybody else if they want to ask questions as well.
Yeah.
So without wasting any more time, I'll just share my screen. I am able to do it. 1 second. Yeah. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so although this title is Cryptocurrency Future or Fraud, but it always starts with, let's start talking about crypto. Let's talk crypto, right? And my name is Naimish, and as Bhuvana said, that I have varied experience in multiple fields. I've actually studied biotechnology, but I've worked with Infosys, Deloitte in financial consulting, in IT consulting. And then I've worked with Network 18 as a media producer and media strategist. And then I dabbled around travel startup, and then I started coincrunch.in, which is on the screen, to sort of, educate people about cryptocurrency and bring the right news around cryptocurrency to the people of India. Right. So that's pretty much my introduction. Let's start talking about cryptocurrency. But before we talk about cryptocurrency, we sort of need to understand fiat money. Fiat currency, right? Not sure how many of you would know this term, but fiat currency is actually the common term used for all the currencies like USD, INR, Euro, which are only and only backed by government guarantee and no other things, right? So in case of INR, for instance, there is we have about 168 lakh crore rupees in circulation, okay, digital and notes all together. But most of us, in fact, my parents themselves, they thought that all of this money is actually backed by gold, which is not the case. India only has like 1.8 lakh crore worth of gold, and we have about 35 lakh crore worth of Forex. Forex includes US dollars, euros, Japanese yen, and other currencies. So imagine this, we have 168 lakh crore in circulation, but that money is only and only backed by the government, in the sense that the government says that this note is valid, so it is valid. And we all know the 2016 case of demonetization, when overnight some notes became invalid, right? So that is the essence of fiat money, and every currency in the world is almost a fiat money. US dollars the most, right? We have seen that the government is now printing trillions and trillions of dollars to boost the economy in the US. So that's fiat money. Now that we have sort of cleared fiat money, let's understand why fiat money caused some problems, and also why Bitcoin was necessary. And since Bitcoin actually was created in 2008, 2009, the biggest reason for it to be created was the subprime crisis, the recession as we know it. This presentation was actually prepared before COVID-19 happened. So COVID-19 is another recession that we are getting into. But this 2008 subprime crisis that happened when, the housing loans in the US actually there was a bailout required for almost $1.5 trillion in the US. And we realized that the governments are simply going to print money, and nobody's going to stop them. And the purchasing power of your money is going to be less and less and less every passing year. So I used to buy like a 5 rupee Dairy Milk chocolate that used to be this big. And now I don't think a 5 rupee Dairy Milk chocolate comes nowadays, right? So that's the purchasing power that we've lost, and we keep losing. And that is why financial planners such as Bhuvana here or Kajal here are going to tell you to diversify and invest in real estate and stocks and mutual funds and all of those, so that your wealth does not deteriorate, your money's value does not deteriorate, right? So if inflation is like 5% per year, then your income should be at least 10%, right? Or 20%, so that your money keeps growing. With that, keeping that in mind, we realized that actually, you know what, before I go to this, one more thing. We realized that there is unlimited amount of money that can be printed. So there has to be something. Like, why do we care about gold? Because gold is essentially virtually limited. Okay, you can only have a certain amount of gold in the world. That's why gold is considered to be one of the most precious metals and one of the best investments. Indians would know actually gold investment, right? So we realize the need for, countering unlimited printing of money. We realize the need for countering inflation. How do we stop that? And then we also have started realizing that banks are not really trustworthy. If you really look at it, as I was growing up, my granddad was like, तेरे पैसे बैंक में रखा गया, keep your money in the bank. But now I don't want to keep my money in the bank, because tomorrow, if a bank like Yes Bank or if a bank like PMC Bank is going to be caught in a scandal, the RBI can actually stop the banks from giving me my own money. So you can see the two headlines that I have on screen, right? Yes Bank had a 50,000 rupees withdrawal limit, and a lot of businesses got affected. Like phone pay uses Yes Bank, their business was affected. A lot of other payment processors that we work with actually uses Yes Bank, their business got affected. We still hear stories about people crying about their money in PMC Bank, right? They could not withdraw it. So we really think that even the money that you have is not safe in the banks. Cash is the best solution you have to keep the money safe, but value of cash deteriorates, as we discussed earlier. So what else can we have? That's why we need Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin sort of is world's first cryptocurrency, and also the underlying technology is called a blockchain technology, and which is world's first blockchain network. Now, what does Bitcoin do, right? First of all, you don't need to trust the bank. You can send Bitcoin to anybody in the world without having to sort of trust any third party. Right now, if I want to transfer money to Bhuvana, I will have to make a bank transfer, and there will be someone sitting in between, like the bank servers, which will make note and make the transfer, right? But if I want to send Bitcoin to her, I just need her address and I can send it from my wallet. That Bitcoin does not belong to the bank. Nobody can seize it. It's with me. So we remove that third party from between. We remove that middleman from between. Now we remove the middleman, but who is going to verify that I have Bitcoin in my wallet and I'm sending that Bitcoin to Bhuvana and she's getting it?
Yeah.
We need someone to verify that transaction, right? So Bitcoin network is essentially considered, you must have heard these terms many times, distributed and decentralized. What it means is that while we remove the central authority, while we remove the banks, middlemen, somebody has to govern the network. Who governs the network is people like you and me. We run a computer algorithm, which is called mining, and we actually hold the copy of the entire database of Bitcoin, and we ensure that the transactions that are going from one place to another are actually valid. So millions and millions of computers in the world are actually continuously verifying the transactions that are made on Bitcoin network. Not one person, millions of computers taking care of it. Okay. What happens when there is not one authority, but there are millions of computers checking your transactions? You can't hack a million computers, right? So that made Bitcoin one of the best currencies which cannot be hacked. Your bank account can be hacked, but Bitcoin cannot be hacked, right? We remove the middleman, so nobody can actually freeze your account. You own your own money. You have your own assets with you, right? So that's the essence of what. Now, one more thing, why it is sort of, why it is competing against the rupees or the fiat currency. Because as I said before, the governments can print unlimited amount of money, but Bitcoin has a limit. There can only be 21 million. 2.1 crore Bitcoins in the world, and every time randomly a miner, so whoever is just million computers that are verifying the transactions, I will try to simplify it because this is not important right now, but one of these computers in the world, the million computers, are able to sort of solve a mathematical problem and are rewarded with new Bitcoins. So new Bitcoins are created, and we call that process mining, because with gold, we have to like mine properly, khudai karni padti hai to take out gold. In this case, this computer has to solve a mathematical problem, and that's why they are rewarded with new Bitcoins. And this reward of creation of new Bitcoins is actually halved every 4 years. So in 2008, for every 10 minutes, one person or one computer used to get 50 Bitcoins. Then in 2012, every 10 minutes, the reward became 25 Bitcoins. In 2016, it became 12.5 Bitcoins. In 2020, May, it became 6.25 Bitcoins. So every 10 minutes, 6.25 new Bitcoins are generated, and it is distributed amongst the people who are maintaining this network. And eventually the 2.1 crore Bitcoins will be completely available to people, or completely mined. By our calculations, it will be 2140, which is 120 years from now.
Oh. Yeah,
so until then,
yeah. No, just being with Bitcoin, just one, right? There could be more like.
Yeah, there are more cryptocurrencies. We'll come to that. I will tell you. But Bitcoin was the first, and right now it's actually the market dominance of Bitcoin is around 65%. So everything else is sort of behind Bitcoin, and it was generated after Bitcoin. But for now, Bitcoin is this cryptocurrency, the first cryptocurrency, right? Now, this is what we were talking about, not Bitcoin. What is not Bitcoin? What are the other cryptocurrencies that are there? So there are two other types of cryptocurrencies, crypto assets as the broader term is now. It's programmable networks. So what it means is you can actually build contracts on top of these decentralized networks. So thousands of computers maintaining a network, and they are also, creating contracts on top of that. Contracts like, if I deposit one cryptocurrency in it, one Ethereum in it, for instance, I will get back 1.5 Ethereum after 3 years. Until 3 years, I cannot remove it. That's essentially banking, but on a computer network that is controlled by thousands of people around the world. So those kind of programmable networks are this. On top of this, people are building games, decentralized games. People are building banking services on top of it. People are building supply chain services where everything is tracked from the production to the delivery. All those things are being built on blockchain network and on these programmable networks. So these programmable networks, because again, thousands of computers are maintaining the network, they need to be rewarded for their services. That's why they have their own cryptocurrency. Ethereum will have Ethereum cryptocurrency. Tezos, as I have on the example, has Tezos as the crypto token, just like Bitcoin. And these are generated with different consensus algorithms, right? It's not always like Bitcoin. Somebody has some other rule, somebody has some other rule. These are open source and people are contributing to it from around the world. So there are multiple kinds of cryptocurrencies. Some are programmable networks, some are used simply as currency. And the third one is a utility token. That means these are simply the tokens or the cryptocurrencies that are used for a service, for using any services on the network, right? Say I start CoinCrunch India, I make it a decentralized service. Tomorrow, everybody in the world can actually be part of the network for CoinCrunch. But in that, everybody who actually contributes some articles will get rewarded in the cryptocurrency, and everybody who wants to advertise has to pay for the advertising using this cryptocurrency. That becomes a utility token, right? So most of the people now, the new networks have a utility token, and people invest in it because they see high potential and in the future for that cryptocurrency. Right. Now, why do I invest in cryptocurrencies? This is my personal opinion. As I said, I have a lack of trust in the existing system. I don't trust the banks. I don't trust the government. I don't trust that that my data is completely private. So for me, Bitcoin is necessary, or cryptocurrencies are necessary to protect my identity, to also, keep the money with me, to keep my assets, my investments with me. The other thing is a store of value. So Bitcoin started off, with like it reached $1 price in 2009. And today the price is about $10,000. So for me, if I invest in Bitcoin, I am also hoping that 10 years down the line, one Bitcoin will be equivalent to $100,000, or maybe we would not have dollars at all and we would all be transacting in Bitcoin. So for me, it's also a store of value. The third and most important reason is that it is still an experiment. Okay, The technology is just 10 years old. But I'm not putting my house, selling my house and putting the money in Bitcoin. I am putting 10-20% of my net worth into Bitcoin as an experiment. If it fails, it fails. But if it succeeds, I could have multifold returns out of it. Right? Again, the fourth point is there is a decade of data backing Bitcoin network. So here I'm talking about people trying to ban Bitcoin, people trying to disregard it, banks trying to disregard it, but it has survived for 1 decade, for 10 years. And I think that it requires that merit. It should get that merit that it deserves, right? Fifth one is, personally for me, nascent technology. You should never disregard any technology, because you never know when it becomes. Before coronavirus happened, nobody thought that Zoom is going to be this big, right? But now Zoom is huge, and we are also like talking to each other on Zoom. And finally, ultimately, every investment that we make is with the goal that we become rich. So that's also my goal. Now, why you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, or why Bhuvana would suggest you should invest in cryptocurrencies, is something that you have to figure out. Yeah. Any questions, Bhuvana?
No, there are some questions. We will come back to those questions in just a little while after we've completely heard you. So.
Yeah. I know I was only supposed to take 15 minutes. Just 2 more minutes. Hold on with me. Okay. Where can we buy cryptocurrency in India? And there are many exchanges. Now, here's the little difference, right? Where do you buy stocks and mutual funds in India? You buy it through, SEBI regulated exchanges, right? And brokers. Correct. So we don't have that in cryptocurrency. We don't have brokers in cryptocurrency. Every exchange that is mentioned on the screen is an exchange in itself, like a BSE or an NSE, right? So I can go to, say, a BitBNS or CoinDCX. I think I've missed CoinDCX here. I'm sorry. So CoinDCX exchange, and I can buy Bitcoin over there or any other cryptocurrency, and I can actually move it out to another exchange and sell it over there. The tokens, the entire cryptocurrency tokens are fungible, which means that it doesn't have any. It is same everywhere. So I can take Bitcoin from anyone and sell it to anybody. It is going to be Bitcoin only. It is not going to be something else, or it doesn't require any compliance, or it doesn't require any additional headache. Okay. That is why there are so many exchanges, because everybody is trying to give you cryptocurrencies to buy and sell, but also giving you other facilities. So for instance, for me, if I go to one exchange and I see that they are more secure, I will buy it there. And I've heard about some exchanges getting hacked. I will probably not go there and buy over there.
Okay. So, but in each of these exchanges, you could trade apart from one cryptocurrency also.
Yes. They could have 100, 200, 500 cryptocurrencies listed on their exchange, and you could buy and sell them.
So cryptocurrencies, each of them are like stocks, like that are traded in.
Yeah. We could, we use the term like asset. So maybe compare it to commodities.
Okay. Compare it to a commodity. Okay.
Right. Interesting. Why commodity? I'll tell you, because I can hold my Bitcoins. If I buy a stock, even if I have the certificate, it's just a certificate that says that this is you have 100 shares. Okay. But if I hold Bitcoin, it is actually Bitcoin that nobody else has. It's not just a certificate that I hold this many Bitcoins. It is an actual computer code, one of the 21 million Bitcoins that I have. Okay. If I buy a token, that is one of the billion tokens that were created and that I have. So you actually hold it. That's why it's more like a commodity, where you have a physical delivery, also in digital format, but you have a physical delivery. And then you can actually transact or transfer it to anybody you want.
Yeah.
All right. Bhuvana, maybe we can take a question about what type of exchanges are there while we are discussing the other things. Okay. I'll quickly wrap this up.
Yeah. You share what you have to share. There are a lot of questions here.
Sure, I will take up all the questions. Now, the most important question everybody asks me or you or anybody is like, Bitcoin तो ban हो गया था, या Bitcoin legal है क्या, या क्या मैं cryptocurrency में invest कर सकता हूँ क्या? So the funny thing is that cryptocurrency was never banned in India, but there was an impression कि RBI ने उसको ban कर दिया है. So RBI cannot ban cryptocurrencies. But what RBI did was they said that banks and NBFCs cannot give services to people who are trading cryptocurrencies. So basically they took the support out of the exchanges.
Okay.
Right. But the exchanges won the case against RBI on March 4th, and Supreme Court quashed whatever the RBI circular was, and now everything is free again to trade. The other thing is that there was a draft bill, a proposal from the government to ban cryptocurrencies, but so far it is still a draft bill. There is nothing happening with it. So we are still legal and you can still trade cryptocurrencies without any issues.
It's interesting, right? Because we want that legal setup. We want a country, we want a government, we want an RBI to control, to tell us what needs to be done, what does not need to be done, right? So that sense of sanity is there when there is some kind of legal arrangement. And when the legality is gone is when it gets, it's like anarchy, right? You don't know where this is getting to.
That is why, when you said in the beginning that you did not get it, you did not get it because you were looking for this. It was created to fight the system. It was created to sort of be a parallel system so that, it is able to make the world a better place. But when people start looking for legality, they will not find it and they will stay away from it, right?
And it's also interesting how you say it's a 10-year-old technology. Okay, for somebody who's 10 years old, 10 years is all of their lifetime. But you look at the larger scheme of things, how long did it take for the banking system to become mainstream? I'm sure when banks came, people thought that, this is all fraud, right? Why will I give my money to somebody else to keep? Right?
Exactly.
The same thing with stock markets, with derivatives, with everything. It takes a long time for the normal, janta to get it. And if you can be ahead of the curve is where you pick trends early, and that's where money is made. And you want to stick on and hold on to your old ideas and say, no, this doesn't work, right? These are just my views. There are questions we will answer. Please complete it. I'm just saying.
I want to say, Bhuvana, before you get that, cryptocurrency investment gives you an opportunity to become your own VC. Okay, you can actually invest in startups, which you don't get a chance to, right? Unless they are going public. So this is one of the ways that, you can focus on a technology and you can actually invest in a startup technology. So that gives people this, sense. Now, we've talked about everything good about cryptocurrencies. Just quickly, let's talk about the bad about cryptocurrencies as well. Since there are no regulations, since there's no ban, but there is also nobody's coming out and saying what is legal and what is not. So you have to be careful about Ponzi schemes and you getting fooled by the people. That all things can happen, right? So that is one thing. The second issue is this: banks are crazy. Okay, we hate banks. I hate banks. But banks can just say one day, you are trading in cryptocurrency, we don't want you to, so we are freezing your account. Right? And it's crazy. You have to fight it. I mean, you will fight it and you will win it, but it's a waste of time and energy. The third one is FEMA regulations on individuals when dealing in Forex. Okay, so we have to be sure that when you're buying cryptocurrency, you're not buying US dollars and then buying cryptocurrency. Okay, so because then the FEMA applies because you did a Forex transaction. So whatever exchanges I mentioned earlier, and whenever you ask me questions, these exchanges actually offer you services where you can buy cryptocurrencies with INR. So just stick to that so you are not violating any FEMA regulations.
Okay, so you have to actually give real money to buy cryptocurrency.
Yes.
So no, okay. So maybe it's real money too, but then.
No, but I mean, okay. So it's an exchange, right? It's a trading component or commodity on an exchange. What it means is there is a buyer and there is a seller. So if I want to buy Bitcoin, I have to pay him 7 lakh rupees to buy 1 Bitcoin. If I want to buy 0.1 Bitcoin, I have to pay him 70,000. Similarly, I can go in fractions like up to 8 decimals. I can even buy 0.00001 Bitcoin, but I have to give that much money to that person to buy it from them. It's more like a stock exchange or commodities exchange where you just put in money and then you buy something from other traders. So every cryptocurrency that is listed has a value. The market sentiments apply on them as well. It goes up, it goes down. All of those things happen like any other commodity or stock.
Yeah, so there is a question around this where saying wallets are also hacked.
I will come to that. Wallets are not hacked. But I will come to how it can be. Okay. Just last point here. As an investor in crypto, the onus to safeguard your coins and tokens lie on you. Nobody will come to save you. So be careful. What I mean is that this is the first time there is a technology that actually does not require an authority on top of it, right? But it could be overwhelming for newbies, new people, because if you hold your Bitcoin, that means you are holding that asset. You are responsible to protect it. You are responsible to take care of it. If you keep it with an exchange, it's more like a bank. An exchange can get hacked and somebody can take that cryptocurrency away from you. If you keep it with you, then nobody can hack it. But when you keep it with you, there are a lot of best practices that you have to follow so that nobody can steal the passwords or the details of your wallet and take it away from you. So this is the first time that you will be responsible for your investment and also safeguarding your investment. So nobody's going to come to save you. That is one of those warnings that I want to give you right away.
It's actually a very spiritual thing that you're saying, that you take responsibility for everything, right? If you don't want policemen around you, then you got to take care of yourself, right? You don't want that policeman, so he's not going to come and save you. So you say, take care of yourself.
Exactly.
You don't want the exchanges, you don't want the regulators, you don't want the banks, you don't want the government, right? So you left to yourself, figure out.
Yeah. You have to be protective about your assets. Very spiritual. You're right. Yeah. That's it. I just want to say good luck, and now you can ask me all the questions you want.
Yeah, there are a lot of very interesting questions. Devesh is saying, just because the Yes Bank and the PMC went bust, that's just 0.1% of banks that are failing. You can't say Bitcoin is better. It's like if my dog bites me, I should switch to a lion and start.
Okay, Devesh. Interesting point. You're absolutely right. Just because one bank it happened, but what if your money was in that bank? What would be your frustration, right? If you keep, I'm not saying that banks are bad. I don't like them because this can happen to them. But I never thought that Yes Bank could. Do you know that if the bank goes bust, the insurance until now was just 1 lakh rupees. You could have 1 crore rupees in a bank and you would only get back 1 lakh rupees. Now it's increased to 5 lakh rupees in this budget. So I would not take that risk. I would not keep 1 crore rupees in my bank and it goes bust and I get 5 lakh rupees only. So while there is see, if I tell you Corona ka case le lo, theek hai? If I tell you that there are these 100 chocolates, one of them is poisonous, right? Would you eat even one out of it? Would you take that chance?
True. That's like a good example, of course. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know. Devesh, he's got more questions. Okay.
You need banks. I'm not saying you don't need banks, but minimalistic use of them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So where are these Bitcoins stored? I have read about cases where exchanges were closed and Bitcoin stores with them were lost. Is that possible? It's the same question from the same person.
Interesting. So here's what happens, right? When I say that I should own my Bitcoin, I can keep it on my phone. I can keep it on my computer. I can keep it on a pen drive, or there are wallet services, hardware wallets that look like pen drives. I can keep it on them. But when they are with me, what I have is a password to access those coins. Okay. It's called a private key in the crypto lingo. Yeah. So I have a private key that will allow me to access those coins. If without that private key, I cannot access those coins. When you are trading on exchanges, you don't have the private keys to your cryptocurrencies. The exchanges have the private key to the cryptocurrency, right? Now, say if you keep private keys with you, you written it down on the paper and you keep it on the table. Your friend comes, sees it, takes it, and then goes home and uses that key to access your cryptocurrency, and it's gone.
It's gone.
Right? Similarly, in exchanges, sometimes they miss out on the security protocols, and some smart guy is able to find that loophole and steal the funds from the exchanges. So I always advocate that use exchanges for trading and then take the funds out into your wallet. And if you protect your wallet's private key, nobody can steal those funds from you.
Okay. So the private key, even if you lose the private key, nobody else has access to the currency.
Nobody else has access to you should not lose private key, because if you lose private key, you also lose access to the private cryptocurrency.
Okay. So the private key is the currency.
The private key, in a way, the private key is how you can spend the currency. Okay. Let me put it this way. There is a public key and there is a private key. Okay. So public key is like your address. So I can send you as many letters as I want because I have your address.
Okay.
But you can only access the letters if you have the key to the mailbox.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So I can send you Bitcoins. You can send yourself Bitcoins to that public address or cryptocurrencies, but you can only access it. Whoever has that key to the mailbox or the private key to the wallet can access those funds anywhere in the world.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is interesting on the private key. Iqbal has a question. He says governments can print unlimited fiat money, right? So you say that is a problem, right? You're printing at will. And so there's no value, there's no real value that we can find of the fiat money. But so unlimited number of cryptocurrencies also can happen, right? Like a Bitcoin, there are a million other, right?
Yes.
So how is this value retained? How is the value retained?
Right. So see, there are many other coins. I can talk about Bitcoin. It will be 21 million. Okay. I can talk about Ethereum. It can be unlimited, but it has a backing of a network computers. It's a network layer. It is being used for banking and all those things. So you have to identify these two coins. When there are good coins, good cryptocurrencies, there are also bad cryptocurrencies. When there are good companies, there are also bad companies. Hertz had filed for bankruptcy, but thanks to the Robinhood app, the stock was up 300% in just 2 days or 2 weeks, right? So there are good and bad about everything. Tell me something, if I believe in Bitcoin and you, Iqbal, want to transact with me, you say, I will send you this other coin that is, I have like 10,000 of that. I will say, bro, no, I don't want 10,000 of that coins. You owe me 1 lakh rupees. You send me 1 lakh rupees worth of Bitcoin. Automatically you have to buy Bitcoin and its value increases, right? The trust in that network, the usability of the network increases, and the less the people use that 10,000 token wala coin, it will die on its own. That's just free market principles. Whatever is being used by someone.
The most valuable currency, right? Is that how it is? Every country.
Precisely, yes. Bitcoin can be the top layer of the internet of money. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I hope Iqbal that answers your questions. I have a lot of questions from my else too, but we'll answer these ones that are there.
I have a lot of time. I'm very happy and very excited right now.
Yeah. I am too. So till the time government validates it, where can one encash it and convert it into currencies? I think this whole idea of dealing with something that you can't lay your hands on is uncomfortable.
Let me show you. Let me actually, you know what, this is a better idea. Can I share my screen once again? Let me just clarify this once and for all, because I know theoretical knowledge, but I want to show you an exchange.
Sure. Yeah, you can share screen. Yes, please.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah. All right. For anyone who's looking at, I know CoinDCX marketing manager is on the call, so I will use their exchange. Okay. I saw Ram over there. So this is an exchange. Okay. It says it has about 200 plus cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
So you can buy and sell 200 plus cryptocurrencies. You know what's interesting? You can actually also trade derivative products here. You can do margin trading, you can do lending, you can do borrowing, you can do futures, everything on this. Okay. So I'll say I trade, and let me show you the simple interface. TCX trade, visit exchange. Okay. I will go to the INR market.
Okay.
And I will select BTC, which is Bitcoin. One Bitcoin's price is 7,29,098. I can buy it, I can sell it. Okay. I can say buy BTC. And I could just write here that I can set up a limit order. I can say I just want it for 7 lakh. Whenever the price reaches 7 lakh, I will say I will just want a little bit. So for 700 rupees, I want to buy Bitcoin. I can buy this. Okay. If you have Bitcoin on your own, you say sell, and I could set up a selling price, and I could say, okay, I will sell. I have 0.01 BTC. I want to sell it. This is the price I will get in my account. So it's a simple stock market analogy. You buy, you sell. Yeah.
It's real, right? It's real money.
It's real money. This is real money. Okay. You have to put INR into this exchange so that you can use it to buy anything else.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is that because there are no regulations and everything, you could actually use your Bitcoin to buy any of these tokens as well. These are actual Bitcoin markets, right? So if you want to buy, say, a token called ADA, it's ADA versus BTC market. Kind of like you have RIL stocks and you can trade RIL stocks for buying Tata stocks.
Oh, you can't do that.
So you can sell BTC and buy any other cryptocurrency. Okay. This is how it is. You can sell. So this is on the left. If you see
the exchange rate, is it? Is there one BTC is to so many ADAs?
Yeah, this is the exchange rate. So if I go to INR BTC, for instance, this is the exchange rate on the right.
Okay, got it. Okay. Oh. This is like the INR USD. Yeah, okay. I mean,
it is like INR USD. Okay, you can say that INR USD is also a good idea, a good example. But whoever was asking the question, if you have Bitcoin, you could use one of these 12, 13 exchanges that are there in India. You could send your Bitcoin to them, and there it will be deposited into your account, and then you can convert it to INR here. If you want to see a live example, while I don't want to sort of give away my privacy, but I'll still show you. Yeah, 1 second. All right. So this is a live example. Right? This is another exchange called BitBNS. Here's the thing. I have 1,646 rupees here. Okay. And I have this particular token, 18,750, which is worth about 48,000 right now.
Okay.
Okay. So now I could say this deposit INR, and I could just put more INR in it, for more rupees in it, real rupees from my bank.
Naimish, you have to make a new share, I think. We're seeing the same screen.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. My bad. Thanks for pointing it out.
New share? You just see a new share.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can. A purple screen, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another exchange called BitBNS.
Okay.
Right. I have 1,646 rupees in this exchange.
Okay.
Okay. And I have some token called as BNS token.
Okay.
Which is something that
Sorry.
So that's okay. So this is worth, say, 48,000 rupees, it says here. Okay. So what I can do here is I can say I can withdraw this 1,600 rupees. I will click on withdraw and it will be in my bank. I can deposit more money in it by clicking on deposit and bank transfer or MobiKwik or something else I can use. I'll just click on bank and it will give me this other options. I can do UPI, I can do IMPS, I can do NEFT and put real INR money in this account. Okay. Then I go to this market, BTC INR market. Right now you can see my INR balance is 1,600. What I will do is, this is the price, selling price. I will say for 100%, for all 1,600 rupees, buy Bitcoin at this price. So I will get this many Bitcoins. Okay.
Okay.
I will click on buy, confirm buy. Okay, wait, let me do this. 1,600 I'll do. Okay. And this buy and confirm buy. Okay. So now it's this easy. Now I've actually bought Bitcoin worth, I've placed an order to buy Bitcoin worth 1,600. You can see that it is not completely filled. I still have a little bit of it open. This much Bitcoin is pending to buy at this rate. And this order is here. You can see the dot. It means it is my order. Okay. So if somebody is selling at this price, I will get it. Right. These are my trade histories. You can see that I've sold it, I've bought it on May 13th, May 3rd, June, everything. If I go to my wallet, I click on see all wallets. I will see that now I have Bitcoin, this much Bitcoin worth 1,300 and the rest is on the open order. Okay.
Open order is what? The transaction that has not been executed.
The transaction that has not been executed. It's still as a limit order. So somebody is selling at that price, then I will get it. So you can see that 255 rupees are held in open orders. 1,344 worth of Bitcoin is here. And now I can do what I can do with this Bitcoin is I can also send it to my wallet. I can bring it to my wallet, or I can send it to the earlier exchange and I can sell it over there as well if the price is better over there.
Okay.
Right? I can trade it, I can send it, or I can receive more Bitcoin as well.
Okay. You can basically transact with it. Can you also short it? There is this question saying, can I short a Bitcoin like I short shares?
Great question. Okay. So on this exchange, you can short it, but it's margin trading. It's complicated, but there are also derivative exchanges, right? Like let's say Bitmex, okay, which is one of the most popular exchanges in the world. Here, you can see the market this is more like a USD market. So you can short it with the US dollar derivative. So this is the market here. The Bitcoin is trading at 394. You can take up to 100x leverage and short it if you want to. Okay. You can short other coins as well. EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, Cardano, whatever you want, right? It's just an example. There are many, many, many derivative products in this industry because all the experiments are happening in this industry, right? There is no regulator telling us not to do anything. So, but this is how you can short it. You can also short it in this exchange this is a margin trading. So you have to borrow like 4 times the value of your assets and then sell it all, because that's kind of like that sort of shorting. These are, maybe we can do second session. I can run you all through how to do it.
This is mind blowing in itself, right? So there is another question about, I have questions on the security budget of Bitcoin post the 21 million cap is hit. My second question is on DeFi and Ethereum.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about the budget. What does it mean, Bhuwana? Can you maybe explain it to me a little bit?
I don't know what he's saying. He's saying, what is the security? I think he's talking about the security of the Bitcoin after it hits the 21 million cap.
Great. So 21 million Bitcoins will be mined in 120 years. But what happens now, or even then, what will happen is people who are running these networks are incentivized by also a network fee. So earlier when Bitcoin was new, there was no fee required to make transactions. To send one Bitcoin from here to another, there were no fees. As and when the network is growing, there are more and more people on the network. Now there are fees. You have to pay a certain amount of fee to transfer Bitcoin from one place to another. When all the Bitcoins are mined, the fee will increase and still the network will function the same way. It's just that people will be incentivized by transacting by paying fees.
Oh, okay. So there's the fee component here. Okay. So there is a question from a believer. I can see from the question that it is someone who is a believer in the Bitcoin. He says, if each citizen of a country becomes smart and disregards their own currency and takes to Bitcoin, what will the government and the RBI and the banks do? How will the economy run? Or will there be a completely new economy, or will both the economies function parallelly? What will happen? Will be bartered through Bitcoins? That's the question.
Okay. So I don't think that there is enough, Bitcoin going around for everybody. So in my personal opinion, Bitcoin will become a sort of an asset, okay, that you hold. But, governments around the world are using blockchain technology to create currencies, digital currencies on top of them. China is almost ready with their, I forgot the RMB.
Renminbi.
Yeah, Yuan, right? It's ready with a digital Yuan. Similarly, someone will start a dollar, and these governments will catch on. You will not get rid of their economy. You will not get rid of the central authorities. Central authorities will try to ban cryptocurrencies and all that, but you can't do it because it's borderless, it's decentralized. Nobody can really ban cryptocurrencies.
No, but then if China comes up with a digital yuan, it's not going to be a global currency, right? I mean, the whole point is lost when you say it's one government or one country that's it's
it will function. It will do the same functions that the paper currency does now. It's just that there will be more who can build it and who can increase the commerce faster. Right now, the denominating currency for all the transactions around the world is usually a US dollar. China is becoming a very powerful economy. It can destabilize dollar, and bring in their currency, they can make a rule that anybody who's trading with China has to use the Yuan currency, right? Yeah. So then the digital currencies are actually faster and controlled by the government. We don't like it, but it will happen.
I know. Yeah. So you fight the system. Keep fighting. Yes. Come on. So there's someone who's saying any factors or regular studies to make the right entry exit from Bitcoins. Is there a method to, as an investor?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. People do charting on Bitcoin as well. Okay, and they do lovely charting and they make money, a lot of money. They, they put in one Bitcoin, they take like a 20x leverage, and then they come out with like 500% profit. And all of those stories we see. At the same time, people cannot time the market and people also lose value. Okay. So, but charting normally works if you are an excellent charter, if you know what is Ichimoku cloud and all those jargons, what are candles, and you can sense it, you could actually time it perfectly. Another thing is, like stock markets close at 315, Bitcoin is running 24/7. Cryptocurrency markets are running 24/7. So it's more like, more adrenaline rush, more fun trading cryptocurrencies, to be very honest.
I don't know. Sometimes we think that what if the stock market doesn't open? Will that be a better day? Right? And here you're saying 24/7. Okay, that's good. So
yeah, we don't sleep. I mean, I don't think I've slept more than 3 hours in the past whole week. So I mean, every day more than 3 hours.
Okay. So Iqbal is asking if the government comes with their own cryptos, can it be detrimental for intermediaries like the banks? Will that be the idea?
No. No, I think they will still pass on these currencies via their intermediaries like banks. There's nothing will change. I mean, only thing that will change is that your bank balances will be tracked on a network, on a distributed network. We will not be able to see it anyway. But right now we are not able to see it because it's completely obscured and on one server. Ultimately, if it's on blockchain, it could be on multiple servers at the same time. That's all. Otherwise, nothing changes.
Nothing really changes, right? Okay. So as investors, if somebody is looking, like you were telling me before the session, that there is one thing that can act as a currency, as an investment, as a store of value, right? So if somebody is looking at investing in cryptocurrencies, someday maybe it'll become mainstream currency, and there'll be a parallel economy where you can send money in and out. So what kind of informed decisions should an investor make? What should we be wary of? What should we look for? Are there any specific inputs you can give us there?
Right. Okay. So as an investor, you have to understand that you are making a bet. Okay. A bet with high risk and high potential for rewards. Okay. Very high rewards. Okay. If the bet is right. So what happens is that when you're trading in mutual funds and all, how much, Bhuwana, would you say would be the highest return, right? When you're planning something, like what is it, the maximum cap that you think of making money?
Yes, I mean, stocks have doubled.
That's like 100%, right? Yeah. People make like from March 2020 to July 2020 or June 2020, Bitcoin has gone 300% up.
Oh, there have been some pharma stocks that did that.
Yes, right. And then when Bitcoin goes, other things as well go. So when we make a portfolio, when I make a portfolio for myself, I first invest in Bitcoin because it has stayed around for 10 years and it is not going anywhere. It has a highest market cap, right? It has the highest dominance amongst all cryptocurrencies. So I will invest a little bit on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not going on anywhere. Nobody can hack it. It's very secure, very safe, right? The second layer of investment is where the risk increases, where you are investing in tokens or utility tokens or other cryptocurrencies, which are promising to deliver something, but you don't know whether they will deliver or not.
Okay. That's like mid-cap stocks.
Mid-cap stocks. Or actually, I would still go one level behind and say that this is like a VC investment. It's just that you are able to be an angel investor with for 1,000 rupees in it. Okay. But you can do it. And these are the bets that people take as well. And these are the bets where people make more money because sometimes you've caught the right thing. And it's like startup. You'll invest in 50 cryptocurrencies and one of them will give you 5,000, 10,000% return. Okay. Over time, over 1 year, over 2 years, over maybe 3 years. Right. So that is how the planning has to be. And I was saying to you earlier, like there are actually people who are crypto hedge funds and who are running crypto investment funds who understand this, who find these gems lying around somewhere in the corner, and they invest in it. They invest the investors' funds in it, and when they are sold, they make a lot of money out of it.
No, but then it's interesting, right? How can you identify gems, right? There's no intrinsic value. There's no underlying.
The gems are identified in a way that what is the team, what is the goal. Like say for instance, when Ethereum was being created, the goal was to have a computer that is run by thousands of computers in the world, and it was successful in it. I can actually say, Bhuwana, let's say, you want to get your house painted. Okay. Right now, if the painter comes, you maybe make him sign an agreement that is a proof that you will pay him 5,000 rupees to paint something. Okay. But you don't know whether he'll do a good job. He doesn't know whether you will pay even if he does the good job, right? It's a trust. Let's remove the trust out of the system. Let's say that there is a contract. There's a smart contract wherein you put 5,000 rupees in it. Okay. And you bring me as an arbitrator. Okay. So now when the paint job is done, I decide whether it was done 100% or 80%. If I say 80%, the painter will only get 4,000 rupees and you will get 1,000 rupees. Okay. There is no fighting. This is the contract. It is digital. Okay. I say 100%, you can bring in 5 arbitrators and then you can have a majority vote. You can do n number of things with it. So when somebody, pitched this idea, there were thousands of people who believed in it. They invested in it. Maybe Ethereum at the time was like, you could get 2,000 Ethereum for maybe $100, right? Today, one Ethereum is worth $200. So at the time, if you invested, you would still be worth $4 million right now. Your $100 would be worth $4 million right now, or $400,000 right now. So that's how we identify. Like, what is the pitch? Is there a team behind it that can deliver this pitch, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. Exactly. So this kind of thing you have to do.
Yeah, interesting. No, this is very interesting. So, I mean, you were saying that there's not enough Bitcoins to go around, right? Then how will it become mainstream? Meaning, unless there's enough money for everybody to trade in it, how will this actually take over as a parallel?
So let me just paint a picture for you. Okay. So one Bitcoin is about, one second. Let me share my screen again. I'll show it there only.
Ram Shenoy here is a believer. Is he the coin DCX guy?
No, he's not the coin DCX guy. I think that's other Ramalingam, I think. Yeah. Subramanian. Where is my screen? This one. Yeah. Okay. So this is, can you see the screen now? A Google page is open.
Yeah.
Right. So total Bitcoins are 21 million. Okay. 21 million. On a calculator, let me just start a calculator. There are 21 million Bitcoins. So they need 3 zeros. This is 2.1 crore. Okay.
Yeah.
Now each Bitcoin can actually be divided into 8 units, 8 decimal points. Okay. So yeah, right?
Okay.
So now if I click on, I should have divided it. Sorry. I said divided and I divided by 0.000000001.
Okay.
Okay. You can't see it, but basically you have, 21 trillion Satoshi units to go with. How do I, I can't show you here. Why is the calculator not showing the whole amount?
That's all right. So I think we get the...
But you get the concept that each Bitcoin can be divided into 8 decimal points. So,
You're saying $1 is 100 cents. So
yeah, like 1 rupee in 100 paisa, 1 Bitcoin can be in this 1 to the power, like 1 divided by 10 to the power of 8, right? That is 1 Satoshi. It is called 1 sat.
1 cent. Okay. 21 million
SAT.
Zeros. 21 million followed by 8 zeros. That's 21
million followed by 8 zeros. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
There was a helpful person on the chat box who helped with this. Okay.
Is it Shiv? It has to be Shiv.
No, it's Shantanu Sharma. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, he's our guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So yeah, 21 million followed by 8 zeros. That's the amount it can be divided into. So you will never run out of Bitcoin, but you can run out of the opportunity to own an entire Bitcoin. That's that.
Correct. Okay.
Once it becomes expensive.
Okay. This is very interesting, and we've had a lot of conversations. It's almost 7:30, but there are more questions coming up. There's someone asking very specific questions about MakerDAO, DeFi. What is the end use case, and who are the borrowers? So I think this is a little technical. Maybe you should just share your email ID. Is it okay if we?
No, I will. I can, if you have 5 minutes, I can explain that concept a little bit. Okay.
Okay, so let me read out his question to you. Coming to MakerDAO and DeFi, what are the end use cases and who are the borrowers of DAI in general? Are there actual end users, small businesses in the world borrowing DAI? So that's
okay. Cool. Good question. Okay. First, let me explain what DAI is. Okay. DAI is a cryptocurrency which is a stable coin. A stable coin means it has a stable value. A DAI is always going to be equal to $1, $1 US.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the interesting thing about is there are many stable coins. Okay. There are many currencies that are, equivalent to $1. But what happens is what they do is the company takes $100,000 in their bank account and gives out 100,000 digital tokens. Okay. That's the normal way of working. Excuse me. Right. But with DAI, what happens is there's a decentralized banking solution here, decentralized financial solution. What it means is you take an asset like Ethereum or Bitcoin, like there's Ethereum like Bitcoin. You take an asset like Ethereum. It is currently trading at $200. Okay. You put it in a smart contract, the smart contract that I was talking about earlier. When you put it in smart contract, it gives you 100 DAI. Okay. So now you have put $200 worth of cryptocurrency into a smart contract and you've received $100 worth of cryptocurrency, which is stable to US dollars. Okay. So why they do it is, let's say Ethereum's price fluctuates, the DAI's price does not go up or down. Okay.
Because it's a stable currency.
It's a stable currency. Now, inside, how do we keep the price stable? There are other mechanisms within the entire ecosystem which incentivizes people to keep it at $1. So if the price goes up, someone starts making money, right? Someone starts to make money and someone starts to lose money. So whoever is losing will sort of I'll try to explain it as simply as possible. We'll sort of have a mechanism to bring the price back down. Okay. It incentivizes people to keep the price at $1. And it's one of the most complicated and yet one of the best solutions of blockchain technology, wherein we've removed the entirety of any government or any authority to maintain price of one DAI as $1. It is completely governed by systems and computers and people around the world who are trading cryptocurrencies.
Wow.
Right. So now the question here is that are actual people using that? I would say that the use case is still very low. Some people are actually locking in a lot of funds. There are millions of dollars of worth of funds inside these smart contracts, and there are millions worth of DAI circulating around. But whether people are using it in businesses is still a question that needs to be answered. We don't see that much adoption yet, but we will see it in the future.
This is like damn interesting. So I was reading Ray Kurzweil, if you've heard of him, a futurist. So he's made a lot of predictions on how technology will change life. In 1990s, he spoke about wearable technology and all of that. And he says in 2099, we will have normal people who are organic people. He calls human beings organic people. And then there will be other beings, which is all AI. Right, all artificial intelligent beings who will be around the world, right? I mean, these are unimaginable things, and you're talking of cryptocurrencies and parallel economy. I think we're in for something that's going to be rapid, and this is just an intro into into something that's going to really change the way world will function going forward. If you have time, just go up and check out Ray Kurzweil. Okay,
I will for sure. one question someone is asking that, they need a book or something. If you can excuse me for 1 minute, I would like to bring my book and show it to you.
You can bring a book, and there's one more question you cannot get away with. How is this taxed? That's something we need to know.
Funny thing. Okay. Let me show you. Wait, let me share my screen. I think I'll show you the digital version of it.
Do I have to pay taxes on the gains that I make on?
I mean, if you rob a bank, you still have to pay taxes, right?
No, nobody's going to know that I have. That.
See, that's the thing. But if you make profit and if it's in your bank, they are going to know, right? Yeah. Okay. So I have this on CoinCrunch India. You can, I can give you this link on the chat sometime later, right
Excellent.
now.
Okay, I think that's good. That's
how do I give it to chat?
Yeah, you just go on the chat and paste it.
Yeah, okay. This is everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of the most prominent CAs in this industry who's into cryptocurrency is Anush. His name is Anush Pasin, is based out of Gurgaon. He has created this article for us in CoinCrunch, which explains how the taxation works. Basically, if you make money, you pay tax, right? Simple as that. Whether you're making it as trading or you're making as an investment, if you've made money, you have to pay taxes. But you can go through this entirety on your own time.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So I pay tax in India, although this is a global case.
Well, because you make money in INR. So.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing was the book, right? I think that anybody who's Indian should start with this book, Bitcoin Magnet. Okay. It's written by such a wonderful person, Sunil Agarwal. Okay. It's written in a story like Bitcoin is telling you its story. Okay. And you can read about it on this. You can order this book. It's not very expensive. I mean, I think it is
getting it on Kindle right away. Yeah.
Get it on Kindle. And if Sunil Agarwal is on Twitter. You can follow him. You can ask him questions, and he will happily answer all your questions. Okay. Wonderful person. So get Bitcoin Magnet, and this is an Indian author, but the other one is
the intro is just very interesting, right? My name is Bitcoin. It's been 8 years.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, exactly. So I have a copy signed by Sunil Agarwal, which I wanted to show you, but now you can see it here anyways.
Great.
So, yeah. Okay. So get started with Bitcoin. Also, we are publishing some articles on Sunday on CoinCrunch, which are going to give you Bitcoin 101 details. So just stay focused on CoinCrunch and, just check it out on Sunday. We will have some articles for you.
Great. Okay. So when I do a little bit of promo, that's amazing. CoinCrunch is Naimish's little baby. He runs this India's most trusted source of information and news on
on cryptocurrency. Yeah.
Okay. And you can follow Naimish on that Naimish at Twitter. On Twitter, that's where he's most active.
Yeah, right? I'm most active on Twitter. Please don't add me on LinkedIn. I will accept your request, but I will probably never talk to you. Yeah. So
that's amazing. Naimish, I think this has been one of our best sessions. Something that's like really offbeat, but it's interesting to know how things will turn out, how technology will change the way we work, and it's just an intro. I know there's a whole world of stuff that you guys are doing, but thank you for giving us that peek preview, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Thank you all of you awesome audience who've been here. Stay clued in for more of our programs, and you will watch this video. More of this will be available as blogs, as blog posts on all our social media handles. Do follow us and stay clued in for more sessions. Thank you, Naimish. Thank you very, very much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me, Bhuwana. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.